Hi, Sunshines. Welcome to week, I believe it is 11, which is the money mindset week. Wow, I sucked this week. I was absolutely terrible about my money mindset. But to distract from that, I'm going to go into a couple of stories. And first off, if you are new here, welcome. It's so good to see you. My name is Lauren. I am doing this whole progress self-help year because my father passed away earlier this year, and I was looking at, he passed away suddenly, kind of, well, sudden and unexpected are the same, but unexpectedly in terms of, we thought we had more time. So I'm looking at some of the things that maybe went not fantastic in his life, looking at my own life and the way I want to sort of work on the next section. Hopefully learn a few things and get a little closer to my dad if I can. Welcome again. If you don't mind, you can do all those YouTube-y things. And let's get back to my terrible week of money mindset. Okay, so my dad actually had, I think, mostly a really good money mindset. Money mindset is like kind of one of those sort of law of attraction terms, which basically means that like attracts like. So if you think like a wealthy person, you're more likely to be a wealthy person. And I think my father embodied that pretty well. But he kind of embodied it for when he was growing up. So it is not exactly the same as it is now. When my father was growing up, you could, to a certain extent, trade money for hours and do pretty well. Nowadays, you can, if you trade money for hours, a lot of people can barely get by. They're working a ton of hours to make enough money just to live, rather than like living a nice, comfortable life with like one income or something like that. Times have changed quite a bit. This is a little like having a fight with my father where he's not here, but that worked for a long time, but his generation was pretty much the last ones that actually got that. But they seem to want or expect the next generations to do the same thing when their generation mostly made that impossible. And it's something that, when alive, my father would never fully kind of admit to. I think he felt like if he admitted that, it's like saying he didn't do enough for the success he got, which I think is, you can have two things can be true. He worked really hard for the success he got, but it was easier for him than it is for a lot of other people. He was disadvantaged in some way. He was advantaged in some way. And he doesn't like to accept that he had any advantages over, say, me and my brother starting now, or even starting when we were both 20 years old. Okay, so why this week went bad for me. As I am having a slight fight with my father, who is not here and cannot say what he thinks or defend himself, I got some very angering news this past week that is related to my father, and it made it very difficult to work on something that was that connected to him. Like, money mindset is a big thing for me, and he had a really good money mindset, but I don't think he taught a really good money mindset. And so that's a little with what I'm struggling with, and a little why I thought this week was going to be much easier. And it brought up a lot of stuff I was kind of not mentally prepared for. And then I got information which made it even worse. And then because life is the way it is, I also had a really bad interaction within my business, which really kind of set me off even further. So I talk about the interaction over on, I did a little interlude on the blog over on Patreon. Blog is free, so, it's linked down below, so feel free to check it out. Everything was throwing me off. The other reason money mindset ended up being far more difficult than I thought it would when I wrote out my plan for, the coming, at least the first 12 weeks. There's this woman that I have been following who deals actually pretty much exclusively in money mindset. I've been following her for a really long time. I've read her books like multiple times and all of that stuff. Followed her on like Instagram and Facebook because I'm an old person, and all of that kind of stuff. And I've always liked her. I think there's a couple things I'm going to get to in a second that might sound mean, and I don't want them to, so I'm going to try and lay some groundwork. In terms of money mindset, she is brilliant. She is fantastic. So here's where the issue comes in. Something happened earlier this year, and I don't go on Twitter all that much. I have a Twitter account, but I don't usually go on there because I find it to be very kind of toxic. I do watch YouTube, though, quite a bit. And what she was saying on Twitter was so egregious that I saw it on YouTube, like having nothing to do with money mindset. I was like, no, that is insane. She can't that's not her. Like, obviously something is wrong, because I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I'm willing to just try. I sent her a message. I figured worst case is she just doesn't respond to me. So I sent her a message and kind of said, I'm curious about your take on this situation. It appears that you maybe don't have all the facts. She responded back that, she did, and X, Y, and Z, and whatever. And then she put me to a link to her facts. Here's where it really got to me. So I am a person with strong opinions. So, I know what it is to have a strong opinion, and I've been wrong before, and it's embarrassing. I don't like it. I don't like being wrong. Who likes being wrong? Especially when you say it with such surety. And I've done that before. And I have a few friends who love to remind me that I've done that before. So that is, I totally understand that. But when given the facts, or let's say better verified sources, I'm totally willing to say, I guess I got that wrong. I don't like that I got that wrong. Here's the reasons why I thought the other way, but you know what? Turns out I was wrong. Oops. I read what she was saying she had for facts, and I don't think she read the item she gave me because it doesn't say what she said it said. I think she was quoting other people who also had the wrong facts. And so I pointed that out. I pointed out where she could actually get the information that's, let's say, unbiased and just point for point. And I told her why I thought what she was doing was particularly damaging for people in general and for me in specific. The thing that she was wrong about, I don't want to speak for anyone else, but just to give a very pretty well-known example, I feel like it would be how a trans person feels if they used to like J.K. Rowling. That's the kind, it was so bad when I tried to look at her and watch her videos, I would start shaking because it was being kind of traumatized. It was not a good situation, and I don't really want to go into why, so I'm not going to. This is my video. But in any case, I tried to give her this information, which was from a more reputable news source, and she pretty much said she didn't want it. She had already made up her mind. The person I had planned on basically structuring my week around and like doing one of her courses, which unfortunately I paid for and now I'm not going to get to use, is, yeah, I can't do that because number one, I haven't even talked about her in like months because it just would make me so angry / upset watching her for the week. Like if talking about it is upsetting, I don't want to try and watch her for the week. And two, I'm not I wouldn't take this away. She is really, really good with money mindset. However, when talking about that, you do end up talking about like other things as well. And as I said before, this is probably going to sound mean. Okay, I'm going to say it kind of mean, to be honest. I'm not going to be the nicest I could be here. I had thought this previously, but let's say I was more accepting previously. She's not the brightest light in the universe. And I knew it from reading her books. And so, but I wasn't looking for her to be a neurosurgeon. I really just wanted to know about money mindset. So it didn't matter that much if she wasn't that great about other stuff. But after this, like, it's like, do I have to take every single thing that she says with a grain of salt and like check the references? I don't know if that makes sense, but that's the kind of thing. It's like all of a sudden, it's like if she's saying the sky is blue, I'm like, oh God, is the sky blue? Like I thought it was blue, but you know, if she can just wildly spout things like, I don't know if it's actually orange and I'm misseeing things. Again, that is a dumb, that is a very dumb analogy, but that's all I got at the moment. Between everything all together, my money mindset week was really shot. Every day was just like another thing happened, and I was trying to find something to do instead, and I kind of came up with something, but because of everything and just kind of the way things happened, that'll be a story for my next quarter, my next section. I'll do, yeah, I think the next quarter, I'll do another money mindset week, and I already have a plan for what it's going to be, and I'm going to avoid Twitter, and hopefully this woman stays as nice as she seems now. You might be different. For me, I have a hard time, like if I lose respect for somebody, it's hard for me to continue working with them or giving a lot of my energy to them or to what they say, because in my head, if you're not trustworthy in one thing, you're probably not trustworthy in all things, unless like there's a real like caveat, like there's a real reason. That is this kind of this week. Next week's going to be a little bit weird, but I will explain that to you next week. Stay tuned. You know what? I'm going to do it a little different. The thing I liked this week, there are a few things, but one is a movie. It's called The Watcher. I think it is currently on some channel for free. I want to say it's AMC Plus or something like that. It's about this woman. She moves with her husband to, I think it's Romania. And it's kind of her story. She thinks she's being followed. I don't want to tell you anything else. It is amazing. The atmosphere is fantastic. The way it's filmed and the way it's set up, you feel her isolation, even with all these people around, and it's just a really good movie. I highly, highly recommend it. So thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end, and you haven't done that YouTube-y stuff, send a like, maybe subscribe, share with a friend, not on Twitter. Just kidding. Share whatever you like. And until I see you next time, I hope you live, laugh, and shine. Here's a little sunshine, serotonin. Bye. Is somebody ready for his little morning treat? Oh my God, dude, you are so cute. He's so excited. He's like, all right, fine, Mom, I'll let you film. I won't hide from the camera because I'm focused on getting my cheese.